It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day, and I'm back. Thank you all for your patience while Greg and I were getting some R&R up in Northern California, but we are back in San Diego. We're breaking ground on a new project on Monday, so Hannah Cullen and I came up to Waterwise Botanicals to pull plants for our xeriscape installation. And who do we run into? Celebrity sighting, none other than Sonia from Partly Sunny Projects. And this gal is freaking TikTok famous. She is hilarious. I live for her videos. Sonia sells plants, but most importantly, she helps people through their hard days. Yeah, she does. She really does. She's funny. So look for her, Partly Sunny Projects. You won't regret it. Everybody that's anybody is always at Waterwise Botanicals, so it's a fun destination place. But as you all know, almost 3 years ago, we did this, and now it just looks like a big cotton ball of plants. We have done no maintenance. This is a really rare opportunity to see one of my installations sans maintenance for almost 3 years, because as you know, I do maintenance once or twice a year on all my installations. But I wanted to make this special, this maintenance. I wanted to bring you guys along, so I need to plan it, and that's why it hasn't happened. But Tom, the general manager here, said, Laura, I need some of these plants for propagation. You need to get in here or I'm going to do it. So I have been scared straight. We will be doing this soon and bringing you guys along for the ride. So clearly I need some more rock. I've got some gaps where some things died out. I've got plants like this little Senecio. This is not one of my favorites. I mean, you can't beat the color, but I don't like the legginess of this plant. The Kalanchoe luciae, some of it bloomed out. Oh, yeah, look at that. That bloomed out. That's no good. But we'll figure out the pup situation there. A plant that I really, really like, but that's kind of a hard plant to maintain, is the aloe striata. You see these dead leaves, they don't pull out. So you have to dig in there and get close and cut. And it's just a lot of work. The Dracaena Draco is growing nicely. Look at the aloe ferox over there and all of those seeds. Unbelievable. Tom says that we have so many aloes growing at this nursery that have probably propagated. We have no idea what might be inside those seeds. So it'll be fun to find out. The aloe blue elf is looking tight in its little clumps. This is actually zone 9B here at Waterwise. So it can get quite chilly and it can get hot. But everything has really held up well over the years. Here is Echeveria Sahara. This is a plant that you can see, needs to be pulled out. All of this needs to be dealt with and disposed of. This plant's going to look great once I get it all cleaned up. The Agave Joe Hoke Desmediana is looking spectacular. This is a monocarpic plant. After it blooms, it dies. But it's been 3 years and it is still looking lively. The Portulacaria afra variegata has tripled in size. I don't kill myself on air here. This Senecio is eating the striata over on this side of the installation. And some of the little foofy things, like the sedum, rubritinctums, and the little grapta petalums and graptivarias, they look rangy. So I'll be pulling a lot of this out and resetting some new plants. Don't be afraid to plant something with the idea that in 2 or 3 years you might have to replace it. It's okay. Tom wants some of these quadricolor pups, which is great because as you can see, they are literally everywhere. I talk a lot about Crassula undulata and how much I love this plant because it grows like such a great little shrub. And here's a perfect example of a 3-year-old specimen, and look how it undulates. So this has required 0 pruning, and this is just its natural growing habit. So if you're looking for a hedge or a bush looking type of plant, this is a really, really great choice. It is not hardy though. So if you freeze, you can't have it. Sorry. The Crassula, or the Agave perii, one of my all-time favorite agaves. Look at that. It is perfection. Just absolutely stunning. Hot mess up here. The little Echinopsis cactus back there needs to be brought down closer to the front of the installation because it is now lost. I'm really loving all the Crassula up in there. I've got Argentea and Ovata. I'm going to have to make decisions though. Do I dig them up and cut them and make them lower? That's something I'm going to have to decide because I love the way they're framing out the driftwood. But I think once I get going, they're going to be a little leggy and a little too tall. Look at this Aloe Cameronii. It's in full flower right now. Isn't that so spectacular? And Mangave Jaguar, you know, you ask me all the time, what happens after it blooms? This is what happens after it blooms. So these, you know, we have some pups that can be planted. But these long spiky things you can just dispose of. We'll clean, you know, all of this up and just expose what's left that hasn't bloomed and that is really, really upright and pretty. Sometimes once you pull out some spent plants, all you need to do is replace some rock with some rock. You don't necessarily have to put plants everywhere. And that's one of the things that you're going to find when we do this maintenance is just how much more intentional this whole installation is going to look again. Many of you may say, oh my God, don't touch it, it's so gorgeous. It's not. It's really not. It's really hodgepodge now, and it's going to be 100 once we get in here and create some space. Oh, I mean, Exhibit A, look at how this Portulacaria afrovariegata is literally eating this poor blue elf. That has to be trimmed way back. And yeah, I think we've made our way around, haven't we? I think we've talked about everything we want to talk about. I'm just so thrilled to be back. I look forward to hearing from all of you again and getting back in the fray. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity reporting from Waterwise Botanicals in Escondido with your succulent tip of the day. Bye, guys.